All right, Kat, are you going or do you want me to do the beginning
If
parts?
you can just do the beginning part, I think
Absolutely.
David and I will moderate the panel.
Great. All right. Hi, my name is Shira Rosen. I'm one of the co-executive directors at Literacy Source and also kind of help co-chair the DELN steering committee. So really glad you're all here today. This will probably be our biggest meeting yet. A lot of people signed up, so we're very excited about that. Please put your name and information in the chat so we can see who is here. I'll give a brief explanation of DELN and then tell you some exciting news before we kick off the day. So the Digital Equity Learning Network of King County, we're a collaboration of community-based organizations, private public institutions, and individuals invested in digital equity in our region. And we get together to share resources, create partnerships, gain knowledge of best practices, and increase awareness and support for community efforts. And you can kind of read more about digital inclusion and what that is on this slide. And today we are very excited to have a variety of service providers here to talk to us. So how can you become involved in DELN? We have the bi-monthly gatherings, so that today, so we have one every other month. You can go to our website and learn about that. If you are not on our listserv, we'd love you to join. It is free. That is the site to join the listserv. If you go to our website, there's actually a way to just click and sign up for it. We're also looking for people who want to advocate. We have an advocacy committee and a program and membership committee. If you are interested in either of these committees, feel free to send me or Kat Howell a private message in chat so we can write your names down and make sure that you're invited to our advocacy or program planning and membership committees. And the big, very exciting announcement I have is, if you know, we had a program manager position for DELN available to actually have a part-time person who will officially be running our network. And I am very excited that our new staff member is here today. So Aja Sakau, I don't know if we can maybe highlight you if you're okay with that, or you can find her on the screen. I don't know if you want to say anything, if you want to say hello, so everybody can meet you for a moment, because you will be seeing her face a lot more in the coming period.
Good to be here. Nice to meet you all.
And just to be clear, she starts April 1. So she has not even started working with us yet, but we so appreciate you being here. We're very excited. And so we will kind of get the information out. You will learn how to connect with her. And I think she's excited to be here with us. So, and thank you to everybody on the interviewing panel and committee. And we have found a wonderful person and we're excited to start working with you. So glad you could make it today. I think that's the general intro. Kat, I will let you and David take it from here.
All right, let me screen share again. David, do you want to do the kind of first introduction and then we'll keep going through, or how do you want to run it?
I'll just do a really quick, really brief one, and then
Sure.
we'll head over to inviting the internet providers. So just a really quick context that the Affordable Connectivity Program right now is scheduled to end the last month of a full benefit for people who have been receiving the up to $30 discount or 75 on tribal lands. Is the last month of full benefit is April. And so this was an opportunity. We thought it was important to help folks through this process, learn what notifications been sent out, and what low cost internet options will continue. So so we're pleased to have representatives from these eight different internet providers here today. It's certainly not the full list of internet providers in King County or the state or the country, but this represents a lot of customers. There are about 77,000 recipients of the Affordable Connectivity Program in King County, and about 344 across the state, and 23 to 24 million, I think now, across the country. So So we'll kick it off here for folks to do a brief presentation, and then at the end of the ISP panelists, we're going to just totally open it up for questions. You can also put in questions in the chat, so we'll capture those. And then just to note, we're taking the materials that the providers have sent us and links. We'll post that here on the DELN, the Digital Equity Learning Network, afterwards. You'll also, people will put in some links to their programs as well as we go. So I think with that, we'll kick it over to start with Carla Carell from.
Actually, can I do a little bit of housekeeping first, David?
Oh yeah, please.
Just want to tell folks we have a lot of providers here today. We're extremely excited about that. I know we are all working with clients who are using a lot of different providers. So hopefully this will give people some context about, you know, if your clients are working with a particular provider or how to switch if they need. But because we have a lot of people, we're going to ask providers to please keep their limit to 5 minutes, and we'll be timing you and letting you know when you have 1 minute left. Okay. So that was my logistics. And I think, Carla, you wanted to screen share, so I'm going to stop and let me know.
Sorry, Kat, would you mind? My computer literally restarted when the session began. If you have that PDF I've sent over, would you mind sharing that on my behalf?
I don't have it pulled up, so give me just 1 second, but yes, I totally can do that.
This is in the spirit of technology, how it works sometimes, right? So
totally, no worries. Just give me a second to find it. Actually we have it uploaded to our.
Yeah, thank you. My apologies.
Is it the one pager or the resource doc that you want up, Carla?
It was it's the PD. It was the one, not the flyer. Yeah. Thank you, David and Kat.
Let me search for that, Carla. I'm not sure what it's called.
No problem. And in the meantime, I'm happy to kick it off. So what I can share with you is a quick introduction. My name is Carla Carell. I'm a Senior Director of Government and External Affairs for Comcast. And really what I think is the most important thing to say in advance of the ACP potential sunset and in the wind down period is that there's a number of options available. But what I really wanted to highlight or talk through today was really what has been kind of the digital equity program for Comcast over the past 14 years and will remain as we proceed. And it's really the one that I want to speak to because it aligns with the NDIA's low cost model. So that would be our Internet Essentials program. So as we go into the wind down period, potential sunset, I do want to acknowledge that there will continue to be 2 Internet Essentials programs available. And so again, in the spirit of looking at it from the low cost model through NDIA, there's a number of resources and timelines available that I will have on a different PDF to share with you. But in the spirit of what's available, just know that we are proactively communicating based on the timelines the FCC has set forth, as well as we'll do our own kind of text and email communications as well. We have 34, I believe, stores across the state, and within King County, we have 15 stores with folks available to help and assist people as there may be questions. And I think the most important things to call out is just there's a couple different options only today that I'm talking about again in this Internet Essentials space. So if folks are interested in currently as they look at where they are today with participation in the ACP, if they want to maintain internet connection, obviously we would love that. They can do so, but they don't have to maintain what they currently have. So they may have went to a higher option because of the subsidy. And now with knowing that that may be going away, they do have the ability to downgrade, if you will, or move into any plan that best fits their needs. There's no limitations. They do not have to re-qualify because of their participating in the ACP. They can participate and just move as accordingly. So I just wanted to recognize that. The second thing I would call out is there's no limitations around timelines or waiting periods or anything in that regard. They simply can move and adjust as they need. I'd also call out that if they need to cancel their service now and or April or moving forward, if they are an ACP participant, they can do so at any time. They do not have any contract limitations or termination elements. So they should absolutely proceed to do that. We are working as much as, and I would just say that we are also working through kind of this change as well to really meet people where they are and keep them connected. So if there are folks that need to disconnect because of financial concerns, we're doing our best to sort of figure out what we can do to keep people connected and work through whether it's payment options or what that may be. So just a number of things that will be coming forward. But ultimately, if I were to recap, this really aligns with the model that was provided from a NDIA perspective, folks can stay connected, they can downgrade or select what they want, they do not have to requalify, and there's no timeline or holding period, if you will. So I know that that was quick, but I'm trying to be mindful of time. So Kat, I don't know how I'm doing.
Wow, under time. You still have 1 minute and 30 seconds, Carla.
I will ask,
Great.
we'll probably move on unless there's something else you want to say, Carla, but if people have questions for Carla in particular or any of the providers, please put them in chat. We're going to try to go through and have everyone be able to present and do Q&A at the end because we have a lot of
The
people.
only thing I would add, Kat, just for the frame of reference for folks that are not familiar with, is Internet Essentials is a program. So while it does have an off, it has a monthly amount and cost, it does also provide a subsidized laptop. It also comes with different content and literacy sources and connects, different options there. So it's intended to be more than just a monthly service. And so I just want to call that out because there are great resources and things that come along with that is different than other options or promotions that may come about. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, David.
Well, I was just gonna say, and we see that there's a couple questions at Comcast specific going on the 90-day wait and another one from Leslie. So we'll hold those questions and then we'll get back to them. So
Feel free to have robust side conversations in chat if that's working for folks. All right. I think our next panelist is from Verizon. Is Bliss here on the call?
I am, and I'm so sorry. In the spirit of technical difficulties, I have not been able to get my camera on for the last 20 minutes. So all the materials and stuff I'm going to send are going to be through links, and I'll make sure to follow up with the DELN and staff after the meeting as well. But pleasure to be here with everyone. My name is Bliss Collins, and I represent Verizon's Community Engagement and Public Affairs Department. We are obviously staunch supporters of the ACP program and have been working with a number of community partners in the Seattle region to advocate federally for the continuation. Unfortunately, we know that the projection is that in May it will sunset. However, we're still really committed to ensuring that broadband and 5G internet that we offer at Verizon is affordable, accessible, and adoptable. Right now, we have a 5G home internet plan that with the ACP and our Verizon Forward program discounts right now is free. However, without that ACP benefit, we're still going to be applying our Verizon Forward program to our 5G home internet with a $20 per month benefit. Our commitment is making sure that regardless of what Congress does, that internet stays affordable, that our plans stay affordable. We also do have a number of prepaid services that make phone services and our minute plans more adaptable and more customizable to your needs. So really want to ensure that folks know that we're here to meet people where they're at. I'm happy to leave my contact in the chat after the call so people can reach out to me if they have any concerns about switching over. What I do know about our approach post ACP is that we're planning on gapping that or bridging that gap from May to June for people that are currently on the ACP and enrolled in our home internet program, so that you will still get all of May covered regardless of what the funding situation looks like in Congress. So happy to answer any questions later, and thank you all for the time.
Hey, Bliss, just a quick follow-up. So you said that the lowest cost service plan was $20 a month. Is that right? Can you just re-echo?
That's to clarify, that's our Verizon Forward program. It's our benefit. That's $20 a month towards our plan. I believe the lowest plan that we have, right now is $50 a month. So with that $20 benefit, you'd be the base plan would be $30 a month.
Okay, thanks.
For 5G home internet. Yeah.
All right, I see a ton of questions for specific providers in the chat, so we will try to kind of come back to some of these, and if we don't get to them all today, we'll try to follow up. And I would encourage the providers, if we haven't gotten like a handout from you with information you say, please let us know and send that to us, and we will post it so people can see it in writing, because it's a ton of information trying to process kind of what options on everyone's plans. Thank you, Bliss. Our next provider is from T-Mobile. I think it's Bob Stanchina. Are
Yes,
you on the call?
I am. Can you hear me? All right. So let me bring this up here. All right. So my name is Bob Stankina. I am the Senior Director for T-Mobile. I don't know why that's doing that. All right. Gotta love technology here. Let's try this again. But I'm the Senior Director for, for T-Mobile. Representing both Metro by T-Mobile and the Assurance Wireless program. So, again, as everybody has echoed, right, we are all working hard up at Capitol Hill to really push through and try to maintain ACP going forward, right? It is serving the underserved 23 million Americans, that are benefiting that program. So a lot of, with Verizon and Comcast, T-Mobile, others are all doing a lot of lifting there. But to get down to, if you're with Metro by T-Mobile, and you have your ACP benefit, that ACP benefit, right, that $30 discount that you're receiving will continue through the end of May. And then from June to August, if the ACP benefit hasn't come back yet, we will be applying a $15 discount to your service from there. And then additionally, we're going to have some home internet special offers that'll be coming soon. So that is still in the works. We'll get that information out, obviously, in our website, and I will come back and share this information with this organization so it can get it out to its membership. But we will be doing something special for our 5G home internet service. So more to come on that front. From an Assurance Wireless perspective, we've been in the business since 2009, serving the underserved. And we're going to continue to provide full benefits through the end of May. For the customers that are, are bundled, meaning they have ACP plus Lifeline service. At minimum, right, your Lifeline program will be the fallback. So you will continue with service. It's just going to be at a different a plan, but it will continue. And what I will tell you is, in the bundled package, that roughly 85% of the consumers that are bundled, there's no denigration of a plan because they fit well within that Lifeline program. So that is the good news. For those consumers that have our ACP paid service, they'll continue through their end of their annual term. So there'll be no difference. So if, you happen to sign up, let's just say 3 months ago, you have 9 months left, we'll continue to honor that program, with that service for those 9 months. For the folks that signed up with Assurance Wireless for ACP only, we are going to be pushing out a text message to y'all and for you to sign up with or see if you can qualify for Lifeline benefits, through the federal government. So we'll be getting that information out in a text message at the end of this month, beginning of April, and we'll send that out on several occasions to get people to see if they can qualify for the benefit from there. As we look at June forward, we're still finalizing our plans as to are we going to continue to provide ACP services, for some duration, or are we going to just move everybody into a Lifeline type program except for the paid service? So that information is still on a TBD, but for right now, I can tell that everybody is covered through the end of May. Those that have ACP plus Lifeline, which is the vast majority of people, your Lifeline benefits would kick in at minimum in June if we don't do something special starting June for, forward. from there, and that covers with no service denigration about 85% of the people that are signed up from there. So with that, I will turn that back over to you, Ken.
David, any follow-up quickly?
Great. No, that's great to hear. So again, just the lowest cost service amount.
Yeah, lowest cost service amount for Metro by T-Mobile is $30. Now we do have other options with other programs with Connect by T-Mobile that could be as low as $15. So there are options that when, we will work with every customer out there to put them in the right plan that fits what they can afford at the end of the day, or what our lowest plan is that they can afford it.
Great. And just thanks, appreciate it, Bob. Just for a quick note for folks then, the Lifeline program, so some providers offer that, traditionally the telephone providers. So on here, we've got Verizon, T-Mobile, Lumen. I think those are the three that offer that, so we can mention that. But that's a $9.95 a month benefit for those that qualify for that. So great, thanks, appreciate that.
Thank you very much. And I appreciate all of our providers who are going very quickly. I know it's also a lot, and we will try to provide this in writing for folks to look at again so that we can process all this information. Our next provider is Astound by Wave, and I think it's Claudia. I don't know if you're on the call.
Hey, actually, it's Brianna Woods, and
Perfect.
I will lead us today from Astound. So good afternoon. I do have some resource links that we'll send out in the chat following my presentation here. So a few things. First, there are 2 available internet first plans that Astound is offering. We have a 150 by 20 megabits per second at $19.95 per month. The modem and standard Wi-Fi are included where applicable. There will be an auto pay and paperless discount available with this plan of $10 off with ACH or $5 off with debit or credit card. Our second plan that we have under Internet First is 50 by 10 megabits per second, and that price point is $9.95 per month. Again, modem and standard Wi-Fi are also included where applicable with this plan. The auto pay and paperless discount are not available with this particular plan. There are some nuances for download and upload speeds in some of the areas where we have bandwidth constrained across the market, but that would be fully explained to the customer depending on where they live. There is no requalification process for ACP customers currently wanting to move to Astound's Internet First packages. So no credit check is required for ACP customers wanting to move to Internet First. In addition to that, customers have several choices with Astound to help them navigate through the process of the ACP program ending. The first choice is you can keep your current internet package and pay the undiscounted rate when ACP ends. There will be a note on the monthly balance owed. And it's important to note that that will increase up to $30 per month, but the current internet speed for services will remain unchanged at the end of the ACP, and no action would be required if customers want to keep their current internet packaging and speeds. The second choice available for current customers is to change their internet package. So Astound offers many low-cost options throughout most of the country, including 2 low-income internet first plans that I just went over, either the 150 megs for $19.95 per month, or our 50 meg at $9.95 per month. So you can select into those packages, and again, there's no requalification process necessary. The other option is you can decide to stop receiving internet services at the end of ACP. If that option is something that the customers want to do, they can contact us and cancel their service before the end of April. If they do not contact us before the end of April, excuse me, you will be charged the full rate, the full undiscounted rate for the internet services. So for current customers, the best way to take advantage of the options are going to be to provide follow the instructions that we're sending out. I did provide and would be happy if you could disseminate that, Jessica, the letter that we sent out to all of our current customers. So we've sent letters, emails, bill messages, and all of those can be utilized to communicate, the options available for customers to take advantage of. Let's see. Oh, and then, one other thing that I wanted to point out, we currently have a 150 meg plan with ACP customers. If they take no action, they'll automatically be moved into the internet first 150 megabit plan for $19.95. So I think that's everything.
Great. Thanks, Brianna. I see there's also just a note, because there is an arrangement for the residents, subscribers that are in the city of Seattle also.
Yes, that is correct. We have a $9.95 offering in the city of Seattle, comparable to one of the internet first options. The only nuance there is that if we have a resident in the city of Seattle, they will automatically be given the option to go into an internet first package. They don't need to requalify. If we have a resident in the city of Seattle that does not have ACP and they're interested in internet first packaging or discounted low cost rate, low income rate, we will work with the city as we have been to ensure that they're following the correct qualification processes. And we work with Brenda.
Great, thanks.
Yep. And then we'll go ahead and add the resources into the chat as well. The resource links for current customers, new customers, or just anyone wanting general information about ACP.
Yeah, it looks like maybe one of your colleagues added the links in, and I would encourage any providers to add links into your information.
Oh, good.
We will also be posting links to whatever you send us on the DLN website. And to let people know, we will also be posting a recording of this session.
Yeah, and I know we did get a sample of the letter that people are receiving from Astound. So we'll post that as well, and just a note to other providers, if you want to send that to us, we can include that in the packet too, so people can see what customers are getting.
Perfect. And we're definitely going to stay on for the Q&A session, and we look forward to answering any additional questions as it relates to the two internet first options we have, or any questions related to existing ACP customers that have Astound.
Thank you so much. Our next presenter is PCs for People. I believe the presenter is Andrea.
Hi, yeah, thanks so much for having me. So PCs for People is a national nonprofit, and we work with some national partners to offer mobile hotspot service. I'm actually going to start by talking a little bit about how folks could go about signing up with us newly if they're interested, and then I'll talk a little bit about how we're transitioning our current ACP subscribers. So our program is only for low-income folks. So if they're within 200% of the federal poverty level or 60% of area median income. They can provide income eligibility documentation, which can be a tax return. It can also be proof of current enrollment in an income qualified assistance program like Medicaid, SNAP, basically the same as the ACP enrollment requirements. So if they meet those qualifications, then they can purchase a hotspot from us. That's a one-time purchase, and that's typically going to be $60. It varies, actually, yeah, for Seattle and King County, it's going to be $60. And then the service is a prepaid monthly data plan. So there's no cap on that speed, there's no throttling. It is $15 for 1 month, or they can prepay for multiple months, and it's just a multiple of $15 in that case. So someone can go to our website, and I'll put that in the chat. They can create an account with us, provide their eligibility documentation, order that hotspot, and then once they have the hotspot, it's just up to them how many months of service they want to add at a time. There's no contracts, there's no cancellation fees, so it's either just adding time each month or buying in multiples of 6 months, or however that goes. So happy to answer more questions about that overall program. But to talk about the ACP transition process, so folks who have been using their ACP benefit with us have been applying that benefit monthly. So depending on what exactly we find out from the FCC, if it's the end of April or sometime into May, they will just they won't have a bill that they owe us for ongoing service. They'll just have, finished their last month that was prepaid with ACP. So then they can choose if they want to opt in to add a month for the next month at that $15 price, or if they want to get one of those multi-month plans. Our eligibility in general is good for a year. So folks are just on that same yearly renewal cycle, depending on when they signed up for us with ACP. They may need to provide that again, but just because of the ACP transition, there's no additional eligibility requirement. And yeah, so there's a question about, can folks cancel now? They have a month, so it's sort of just going to cancel by default. And then, yeah, there won't be any change to their bill because we don't bill, but if they want to continue the benefit, it'll be the $15 rather than free with ACP. So I think I'll pause there. I'll keep an eye out for questions in the chat and happy to answer any other questions that folks might have. Thanks for the time.
Great. Thanks, Andrea. And, just a reminder, folks can post your link also in the chat, and we'll have the list of links available afterwards.
Thank you very much. Our next presenter is Ziply, which is formerly Frontier, and I believe Elizabeth is presenting today.
Hi, yeah, I'm Elizabeth Freeman. I am the Regulatory and External Affairs Manager for Ziply Fiber. So first of all, I wanted to just point out that we also participate in the Lifeline program. So we're mostly focused on fiber now, but we're the old telephone company. So we still have the option to provide that discount to customers. We're doing a really strong push for all of our ACP customers that are not currently on Lifeline to determine if they're eligible for that discount. We don't have a huge rate of participation in both programs. So we think there's probably a lot of people that don't realize that they are eligible to apply that discount for their fiber service. Secondly, we have a large group of customers that are paying no money on ACP for 300 over 300 fiber service. We're going to just transition those directly into a $30 plan. It'll be the same service, 300 over 300, and that includes their router fee as well. So all in $30. No reapplication is necessary for that. That's just going to be an automatic transition unless they call and tell us they want to change their plan in any other way. Customers can change or cancel their service at any time. We don't have any contracts. So if they want to cancel now in April, in May, they can do that at any time, or adjust their service level. If they want to decrease the speed that they're getting, they can do that at any time as well. That's pretty much our plan for ACP, is just to continue to offer that $30 plan for service. We're ending our discounts at the end of April. We're not continuing in through May. So customers need to decide what they want to do by the end of April. That's it. I'll throw it back to you.
Great, thanks, Elizabeth.
All right, thank you, Elizabeth. We are going to move on to interconnection, and I believe Julie is on the call and will be presenting.
Yes, hi, I'm Julie Morris with Interconnection, and we are a nonprofit in Seattle and offer only hotspot service. And our hotspots are specifically for people living with low incomes. Our philosophy is reducing barriers and making it as easy as possible. And what that means is we're asking people to self-certify that they meet. And we have a whole list on our website. If you had ACP in the past, you qualify for meeting our requirements for living with a low income. Our hotspots are based on the T-Mobile system. So you need to have access to T-Mobile service in wherever you're using the hotspot. It's a 4G LTE hotspot with 10 to 35 megabits per second. No contract. The cost is $14.95 a month. And with that, you either buy a hotspot up front for $66 or pay for the hotspot over the course of time. So $5.50 a month for 12 months. And the other thing that we offer is we're offering as well low cost laptops and desktops, again, for people living with low incomes. So that's primarily, we have a $49 laptop that is our everyday basics laptop. And I think that is about it. Thanks.
Great, thanks, Julie. I think one thing, did we cover what the cost is of the hotspot itself?
Yes, the hotspot itself is $66, which you either pay upfront or over time. The other thing that's very important to note that I just noticed, we have no hotspots currently. We're completely out of stock, but we will have stock in a week. So if you go to our website right now, you will not see anything because we don't have any. So just to keep in mind.
Great, thanks. Sure. All right, thanks. Kat, on to the next.
All right, and we are on to our last provider that is here today, which is Lumen, and I believe Rob Toms is on the call.
Yes, thank you very much for allowing us to participate today. It's good to hear that our other people in the space have been doing as we have, which is advocating for the continuation of ACP. Obviously, from our perspective, the program's been undersubscribed and needs to be continued. And so I appreciate what you all have been doing in the city of Seattle with the 77,000 that you've been able to identify. As a former staffer for Senator Cantwell, I worked closely with her to try to explain city by city and region of our states where there's still opportunities. Some cities I know have only several hundred, if not thousands, of people that are eligible that are actually participating. So that's something that I think has resonated with our elected leader. As for Lumen, I put in the chat some links to where customers can go. We're in the process of sending out our second notification to our customers who've availed themselves of ACP. And as David said, our option beyond ACP will be to continue those who want to do Lifeline as an option. And then the normal customer would see right now they get a $30 ACP support. Our service will remain at $30. If you're on ACP now, that means you pay $0 for the service for that month. Moving beyond ACP, what will happen is those customers will now see a $30 bill that isn't subsidized with the $30 from ACP. At any time, the customers can go change the program or make adjustments to their account by simply reaching out to us. There are no changes in how people would qualify or any penalties and the like. And it's also, we're working on what our future options might be beyond Lifeline, because we believe strongly that there's a lot of customers that are in need of a low-cost option. And so while $30 is our lowest cost option currently, we are committed to the idea of bringing our costs down even lower for those in need. And so what I continue to do in my capacity in Washington State is work with organizations like yours and the various jurisdictions to figure out who those are who are underserved and figure out ways that we can best provide them services and increase in infrastructure investments. And I'll leave it at that and we stand by for questions.
Right, thank you very much to all of our providers who are here today. And just to let folks know, we did reach out to kind of everyone we possibly could that is active in King County. And many of the ISPs were able to participate with us today, but some were not. So this is not a complete listing of all of the providers that might be available or that clients you might be working with might have. Okay, there's all kinds of things happening in the chat, and I see a lot of providers responding to people. I really, really appreciate that. I'm not sure if we want to kind of open it up. People can continue to put things in chat, or if people have a particular question. I think we have probably 20 minutes or more for Q&A with some of the providers. If people have questions, you can unmute and ask a question. Candace, I see your hand. Okay, go ahead, Ronnie. Candace, you're next, okay?
Okay, well, I am Ronnie Jones. I am of the Central Area Senior Center, and I'm starting to come across a lot of seniors who need low-cost internet. I particularly got a guy who I believe I just found out this morning he's with Astound. So I want to do the best thing for him, but not just Astound customers, all customers. So all this information that I just heard on this call, is there some way I'd be able to go to some kind of hub or get all the documents from everybody so I can have a resource book of myself, just of all the agencies?
Ronnie, that's a great question. I think we've asked everyone to give us like their handouts and links. So what we get from folks, we will post on the DELN website, and it'll be up by early next week. Okay. So yes, we already have from a lot of people, and I'm sure we'll get quite a bit more information and be able to post that. So hopefully you'll be able to look through that.
Okay. And before I go, I am totally welcome for anyone who wants to stop by the Central Area Senior Center here in Seattle, Washington, and give a presentation about ACP. So
we would love to do that. This is Brianna with Astound, especially since you were talking about an Astound customer that had questions. I do just want to emphasize that all of our customers did receive a notification. It should be in mail or in home, excuse me, to this week. I believe probably folks started receiving the latest notification, I should say, yesterday. So we've sent several out, but the latest notification would be in home most likely yesterday. And that will have all of the options that I talked through.
Okay, well, yeah, Brianna, then let's me and you connect somehow after this call. I don't think my email address, it should be in there, but definitely I'm at the Central Area if you want to, just somehow we'll connect, and I know who to talk to at Astound. Like I do have a name.
So Ronnie, I don't know if you can put your email, in the chat to Brianna, that might work.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna get to my desktop where I can do that, yeah.
Perfect. Thank you, Ronnie.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. I think the next hand up was Candace.
Hi, thank you. And thank you, Carla, for all of your all the time you're spending answering our questions about Comcast. So I just want to address the equipment piece, make sure I understand. So if folks have IE or IE Plus and they have equipment, but after the sunset of the ACP, they choose to unsubscribe, do they have to return the equipment? And then if they do, I know you mentioned that DELN will have some waivers for people to send the equipment back for postage, but what if people aren't connected with DELN? How do they get the waiver to send there? If they cannot make it into a store, how are they able to get that equipment back? Again, unless they don't have to get that equipment back.
Sure, and I apologize. I think I confused you. I'm so sorry. So I did put, what I wanted to say was I was providing resources, but if you look, I did post a PDF. And on that PDF, there's resources to the left. And if you look at those resources, any of those links will help you get to requesting for a postage document, you know, just send everything back. So that's for, you know, the folks that have equipment that paid for. I will update on Internet Essentials. Technically, there's no cost for the equipment. It's included in the monthly service. So there should not be any issues there around if it is not returned, but I'll confirm on the back end and I'll provide the update through DELN.
Okay, so that's really important. And I'm very grateful to DELN because they posted information about this on the NDIA listserv. So if someone from DELN could share that response that Carla is going to provide, if you could share that response back out onto the NDIA listserv, that'll be really helpful.
Yeah,
So
we'll
once
absolutely do
we
that.
get info, and it's going to take us a few days
Thank
to compile everything, we'll send that out again.
Thank you.
All right, I think our next hand raised was Karia.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Can you all hear me? Okay, great. So my question actually is, in addition to the customer service, number that people can call, would that be possible for each of the provider to have like a point of contact person listed, so that in case there is questions or there's a case that we need to follow, then as an agency or service provider, that we will be able to contact a person that we don't need to repeat the story every time and then or wait in the customer service line and then end up the customer service rep didn't know what's going on. We were just trying to help people more effectively, because we expect that we will have a lot of additional work because of these changes. People need to switch to plan or to cancel their service. So I'm just thinking, that will, help us a lot if we could get like a point of contact or contact person at the provider side.
This is Brianna with Astound, and we have a select group of folks in Washington and in Seattle that we would be happy to provide some sort of contact that would allow you to, reach that group and can follow up on anything in particular as it relates to helping or supporting customers. So we can do that. I'll need some help in how we can share that. Probably following this call, we'll provide that contact information through DELN.
That's terrific. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. I think JX was the next person with their hand raised.
Yes. I had sent a bunch of questions to Carla. She said that she wanted to communicate offline, so I didn't get a specific response for that. Does this mean this is the opportunity to get the questions I sent her answered right now? Carla?
I'm not sure I can answer all the questions you have regarding mobile offers. That's why I wanted to make sure I could get you the right answers. That's where I'm happy to bring the answer back through DELN. I don't necessarily need to take it offline between the two of us, but I just want to make sure I can get your answer correct. So just to make sure that's the questions, is that right? The ones in regard to the mobile?
Yes.
Yeah.
So specifically what I mean by that is mobile has usually a 2-year contract in which I signed in via ACP originally. But because ACP is running out, I still have basically a 1-year contract left with them unless I lose my phone number or the phone device itself. And so is there a way to basically end all of that to where I'm not left with the overdue balance of the device? I could still keep my device, but not be charged the overdue balance, as well as transfer my phone number over without any fee, because as far as I know, you guys do charge a fee if we were to transfer it to like Google Voice, for example, which would be my number one choice at the moment. So, and when you say you want to communicate offline, I didn't know how I was going to hear back the response.
And I'm happy, and I think that it's great questions. I, again, just want to get clarity for the mobile side. So I'm happy to send them through the DELN so that it's a broad response, but I want to make sure I get you the right information. So great questions. I think they're the right questions. I want to double check on them if that's okay.
Okay. And the other stuff for the Comcast for your side is you guys don't accept Lifeline.
We are not eligible for Lifeline because we are not a telephone provider. We're designated as a cable provider. So we do our own program, which is Internet Essentials, and that's self-funded by Comcast. So that's our
okay. Okay, then the follow-up with the Xfinity Mobile would be if they could accept Lifeline because they are a mobile company. So get an answer for that, as well as for the Internet Essentials. Have you ever considered doing it completely free for those maybe, and what the qualifications of that would look like? Have you guys ever considered that?
I think there's a lot of considerations and evaluations happening. So what I would say is as we work through the wind down and or anticipated sunset, I think there'll continue to be changes. So I would just say, again, I'll continue to keep DELN updated, but I think there's more changes to come, generally speaking. So I think there's been a lot of considerations and other options that'll be available, but I don't know what that looks like yet. I think it depends on a lot of things with ACP.
Do we yet know how you guys are going to allocate the May? Like T-Mobile says that they'll go ahead and fund the whole May.
That's on my takeaway too. That's on my follow-up as well.
Yeah.
I'll take that one back.
Thank you. For the city of Seattle now, the question has to go with, are you guys willing to step in and provide any type of grant for those who are stuck in a potential contract to help us pay for the remaining amount if we can't kind of get out without losing our device or phone number?
Yeah,
that's a question for the city in general, if they're willing to step in and help provide some type of a grant.
Yeah, this is David Wright Keys. So we don't have a specific grant program for individuals' assistance. So we're not able to do that at this time. We have our Technology Matching Fund grant that goes out to organizations to assist and help increase awareness about the options. But we don't have a specific gap funding.
Hi, this is Mira Jo from Seattle IT. I just wanted to expand on what David is saying about our Technology Matching Fund grant. We are in the process of awarding 18 organizations for Digital Navigator services and for Technology Matching Fund grants for digital equity programs. And then half of those are providing Digital Navigator services. So that's one-on-one or small group assistance to provide support for low-cost internet or free devices. And Carla at Comcast, they are funding 2 of our organizations. So they've sponsored 2. And so I just encourage anyone who's a service provider to reach out to me. I'll put my email in the chat if you would like to support other community organizations providing Digital Navigator services. And thank you, Carla at Comcast, for supporting community work to address this really relevant issue right now.
Are we as consumers going to be, are you guys going to provide the list of the organizations that will be receiving the funding for that? And so we know where to turn to?
Exactly. So we will have digital navigators that you can contact as a customer. And those navigators also provide services in multiple languages. So all of that will be available to you either through the website or through a flyer. So if you want to just stay, if you would like to stay up to date on the things that we're doing, there's a Tech Talk newsletter, and I would encourage you to sign up for that. But also you can email me directly and I will make sure that you have information about a digital navigator who can assist you. So I'm just going to put my email in the chat so that you get that information as soon as it's available.
So for sure, ACP, there's no last minute potentiality of it being saved at this point, correct? There's nothing in the work.
There,
Oh, that's
At
a
least
good
through the end of the
question.
year.
David,
Yeah.
you want to try? You want to try, David?
yeah, that's the $100, $1,000, $1 million, $23 million question. It's obviously really late, and the challenge is that from the money's running out and people have to be notified and try and make arrangements. There is a bipartisan bill that's been proposed for funding. There's a real bipartisan effort, but it's up to Congress to decide if they will reallocate the funds. So you'll see in all the notices that basically this is the end of the program unless there's reauthorization or some words to that effect. So here's a couple links. The don'tdisconnectus.org is a way to let folks to advocate for the funding. And so it is important to keep the message up about the importance of it and what the impact is to folks individually. And I know it'll be a potential challenge for people to connect to classes, connect to work, and so on. So we kind of have to do both at the same time. So it's unfortunate that it's this late and there hasn't been reauthorization. But keep the word up because they could still come up with something. Oh, sorry, Kiko, sorry, you can't hear as well. That it's not coming out as loud. So the bottom line there is that there is some chance that it could still be reauthorized. It's still late. It's obviously late in the game, and subscribers need to prepare and companies need to notify people. They're required to notify by the FCC as they're running out of money. We'll put in the link for the don'tdisconnectus.org and others to keep the word up. Senator Cantwell is important in our state, as are all the legislators. But in the meantime, yeah, we have to kind of do both tracks.
Can I just make a quick announcement, because I keep seeing this in the chat? This meeting is being recorded, and hopefully the closed captioning will also be captured along with the chat. This will all be posted on the DELN website, along with all of the information any of the providers give to us. So please check back next week on the website. It will all be there. And I had put in the chat what the website is, but we will do that again, just so everybody knows, yes, this is recorded and you will get it. We should also, I will do my best to remember to write to the entire listserv as well, to remind everybody how they can connect to it. So yes, it will be available.
Great.
All right. Thanks for all these questions. I think we have a couple more people with their hands raised. Aisha, I believe, was next. Aisha, I can't hear you. I see you unmuted, but I can't hear anything. Aisha, I'm still not hearing anything. Is anyone else hearing her? No. Okay, I see you muted. Okay, we'll come back to you, Aisha. Minduck, you are next with your question.
All right. Thank you, Kat. Thank you, Kyra, for raising the question about working with the English limit speaker. I'm just wondering, for all the provider, with all the changes that are happening, I know that you have sent mail to the family, but I'm wondering if you have worked with the community newspaper in the ethics group so that they're fully aware of what's happening, because a lot of people don't look at the mail. They think it's junk mail or marketing mail. And then the other one is, if you can have a point of contact that speaks Chinese, Vietnamese, or whatever language it is, as the first initial contact, because as provider, we are overwhelmed with the amount of people coming to us to help them to figure out, what can they do for the internet situation, because their children depend on it to do their homework. and they also participate on Zoom to learn whether it's technology or language or citizenship. So I think in the long run, if provider could think how best to assign a point of contact from your company to work with a certain ethnic group, that would really help.
I'm happy to share. Sorry, is that a question for just how we could support? I didn't want to jump in, Kat. Okay, so from a Comcast perspective, I mean, and I'm happy, I think that's a great suggestion actually that you put out. We did translate all of our communications into a number of languages. So I'm happy to share all those as well. They're in language. In addition, one of the resources I put in there is a link to a partner portal, which all of our content is in 32 languages. And there's also a language line. So if you call that 1-800 number, there's a language line supporting 200 plus languages as well. So I think that's probably the best place to start. But I think you bring up a really good thought around the newspaper that I'm happy to explore. I think it's a good call.
Thank you, Carla, because not everyone that we serve is technology savvy. So going to the internet, going to the website and navigate to all the resources is really challenging. And for, they come to us as provider to help them, navigate to whatever information, but we just don't have the amount of time to do that. So I'm hoping that as provider can put it out in black, and white in print, so people can pick up the newspaper to read it, so they are aware of what's happening, what's going on, and then also, have a point of contact so that that person can be the bilingual person to help the client.
Maybe we could do a real quick round of some of the other providers too, in terms of any language specific materials you're putting out.
Yeah, I see a lot of translation from Comcast, but I haven't seen it from T-Mobile, which is a lot of our client go with.
Bob, are you still on the call? Would you be able to address language access at T-Mobile? So Minduk, it looks like Bob at T-Mobile has dropped off, but when we follow up with him, we will include that in the question to kind of ask and see if we can get some more information from T-Mobile. Okay.
This is Brianna with Astound. We will also follow up with some in-language options and notifications. I'm reaching out to our corporate marketing team just to get confirmation on that, but we will provide any of those updates to the DELN to distribute. Great question.
Yeah, Carla, I'm happy to provide you with a list of Vietnamese newspaper so that you can reach out to them.
Yeah, great. Please do. I think it's a great recommendation.
Okay.
And in general, for the providers, the City of Seattle's Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs has a ethnic media kind of department. And so that's a great place to reach out to for non-English language media in our Seattle-King County region. Okay, I want to go back. Minduk, are you good?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, I want to go back to Aisha's question. I think she is, of course, having technical difficulties. And her question was, are there specific programs for students and families? She's with Seattle Public Schools. So put this out to the providers if there's any specific programs for students and families.
And I can just talk to that briefly. For Interconnection, we are serving students and families who are meeting low income sort of conditions, who are living with low incomes. So we offer hotspots and laptops and desktops and monitors and mice and keyboards. So that's kind of what we do.
Yeah, and I would add for Comcast, not specific to just students and families, but the Internet Essentials program is available and eligible for family students, et cetera. But additionally, I think Mira, when Mira unmuted and shared, we partner with a number of nonprofits that are a great resource. So I think that could be something to look at as well, whether it's through the housing or where they live or where they go to school, through schools or other resources. I think that's something we could also look at if there's broader assistance or opportunities to partner.
This is Claudia with Astound. So our current Internet First package has multiple ways to qualify and become eligible. In addition to the city of Seattle and their separate qualification. So I'm sure between the two, there's multiple ways to qualify for this.
Great, thank you. Look, JX, I think you have your hand up again.
Yes, I do. And it's just a follow-up to Carla's response that she'll be responding to my questions via you guys, is what she said. So when you guys do that, can you guys just send us her response via email to the participants or whatever, just a little bit more direct, because I don't know how you guys are going to post it because I don't know if I'm supposed to go on your website every day and where the link on your website would be to find her response. So that sounds a little bit more ominous. But if it could be a little bit more direct coming to the participants of the meeting with her response, that way I get the answers directly as soon as possible. The other thing I want to address was in regards to T-Mobile is for the people who participate with T-Mobile or in partnership with them, the problems that I've encountered using their hotspots and their service is that they block VPN users. We cannot, under VPN usage, connect to their internet. And so if there's a way to mitigate this, please provide with the detailed instructions. I haven't been able to find a workaround against it. The other thing is if there isn't a way to work around it, which like I said, I haven't been able to find a way around it, is could you guys consider something else where it doesn't mitigate the way we use the internet by blocking VPN users, which, for work, things like that, to where if we really want to get some things done, a lot of times we do need VPN. So if there's a way that you guys could allow us to use this, because then that leaves me with no other option than basically kind of Comcast or Verizon. Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks to all of the providers who came here to share today and to all of the participants who've had really great questions, both in the chat and in speaking. Are there any final questions from the crowd while we have providers here on the call with us?
I just have a quick question. Carla, I'm on the Internet Essentials partner platform and it looks great. I was wondering, I'm struggling to find the language line that you were mentioning. I was wondering if you could point me in the right direction. That would be super helpful. Thank you.
Sure. So the language line will be when you call the 1-800 number. They're connected to the folks that they'll connect you through the language line from that support, but the content on that portal is in language. Does that make sense? Does that help?
Yeah. Okay. So if I'm helping someone who speaks a different language, they would still have to call the normal 800 line.
That's the best way to get to the language line. The content.
Oh, okay.
What I recommend is I would say the content on that portal in language first helps it give the number, give some detail, all that they can get to the language line that way.
Got it. Thank you.
This is David. I'll just note also, somebody mentioned earlier the broadband nutrition labels. So the Federal Communications Commission has issued these new labels, basically like a food nutrition label that providers will be using starting in April, the largest providers. So I'll just post a link for that also in the chat here to see that.
All right, any more questions from the crowd?
Yes.
There's always one more. Go for it, Roxanne.
Good afternoon. My name is Roxanne Buchanan. I'm president of Fame Housing Association, and we have multifamily properties, and they have or will have options to select their own internet providers. So if this, for instance, whatever provider they have at this time, have they received all this information that I've heard, listened to about the end of the program if they're on it? Is that safe to say? Are you shaking your
Yes.
head?
Yeah, so any internet provider that is participating in the Affordable Connectivity Program has been receiving kind of their instructions from the Federal Communications Commission. So they're all aware of it, and then should be putting out the notices to customers that are required.
Okay, so it's an individual thing, even though we're a multi-family property. It's not up to us, it's up to the individual, correct?
Yeah, unless you're assuming if individuals are subscribing versus the whole building subscribing, like if I'm a building owner or FAME and I'm purchasing internet for everybody and just providing it as one account, then that's not the case. But individuals, households had to sign up for ACP themselves, and each individual household should be getting notices from their internet provider. And just a note, because those notices are also coming, the providers are usually doing that by whatever preferred method customers set up or told them initially.
Okay, and possibly in their own language.
That's really up to the individual provider.
Okay.
So, and that's the importance too for us as kind of community assistants and navigators to help people both to flag, to really watch and pay attention to those notices that they may have gotten, and kind of continue to share out what their options are and that they need to do something.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate this. I'm not sure if anyone from our development team is on here, because I know they're working on internet connectivity with our new building, but I'm gonna let our office know so that if tenants come in and have questions, that let them know that this is on the horizon, and hopefully know how to direct them back to whatever provider they have.
Great.
Okay, thank you
and
so much. Good to see you, David.
You too, Roxanne.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. All right, Samith, do you have a question?
Hi, Kat. Hi, David. This is Sumit. I do have a clarifying question. Partners in Change will be working on a digital equity resource fair in the summer. So I wanted to know the providers here, you will have their contact info on DELN, because I would love to make sure that providers would be meeting with the people that we're serving in the city of Seattle as well.
Yeah, we will be sharing out what we get from everybody from today, and it will be on our webpage. So I think David put in there, it will be on we put all the meeting materials from our past meetings on our webpage. But it might take us a few days to get it from everyone and get it up there. So I would look at it next week.
Sounds wonderful. Okay, thanks. Thanks for the clarification.
So Samith, you got to ask, is there a date for that event at this time? Do you already know when it's going to be?
Most likely it will probably be the beginning of August, because our organization has a conference at the end of July. But similar to our resource fair we did last year, we will be inviting partners, but I'm hoping to really center it on digital equity resources. So there's going to be a lot of freebies and just connecting with people who are the service constituents of these services providers. I hope that makes sense. I'm saying services a lot.
Are you on the DLN listserv? And when you get that set, can you please post to our listserv? Because we're getting a lot of interest in the chat about your
I'm
fair.
not on the DLN listserv, but thanks to David, I've been following along what's happening. But I'm happy to figure that out. I don't know, David, how to sign up for that, but y'all are welcome to sign me up if you just need my email.
Can I put a link in the chat? It's a Google form to sign up to get on the listserv. I'm going to put a link in the chat. It's the forms link. We'd love to have you participate in our listserv.
Thank you.
Any other questions at this time? We are down to 75 people from like 115, so we definitely had some people who had to drop off, but you are the hardy 75. Anything else from David, Jessica, any of the other folks who helped coordinate?
Thank you so much for putting this together.
Okay, I guess in closing, we would just say thanks to everyone. Please look on our website for updates from this meeting. We will be trying to compile resources in writing so people can compare. And our next DELN general meeting will also be on Thursday, May, I don't have the date, from 12 until 1. And we will be posting what we will be talking about in May shortly.
Kat, will we get, will that be sent out via email once the site is updated with all of the information and with that date? Of
With
the
the
next
May,
meeting?
the May date?
Yes.
Sure. Well, we'll definitely send it on the listserv. I don't know. I have to find out. I'm not sure if we can send an email to all the participants in the meeting or not. But
May 23rd, it looks like.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, May 23rd. Thank you.
Sounds good.
Yeah, thanks again for everybody from the community and the providers stepping up to help us understand this complicated and challenging thing for residents. So we'll
Shira,
send
any
that out.
last words from DLN?
I think that's it. Thank you, everybody, for coming, and we will post the information as soon as we can.
Yeah, appreciate. Good luck getting people continuing their internet. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.